In today's video, we're diving into 5 incredible stories from the world of park rangers. Imagine a mix of breathtaking park areas, mysterious disappearances, and the unstoppable dedication of these real-life heroes. We're about to reveal stories of courage, tragedy, and the unexpected twists that unfolded in the heart of nature. So grab your adventure hats and join us on a journey filled with suspense, determination, and the untamed mysteries in the wild. Story 1. In August 2010, in the vast boundaries of western Alaska, a small float plane went on a journey that would soon become a tale of suspense and determination. In the center of majestic Katmai National Park, Alaska, 3 brave Park Service rangers, Mason McLeod, Neil and Seth Spradlin, along with their experienced pilot, set out on a routine flight from Swikshack Bay to King Salmon. The skies were clear, and the plane, a de Havilland Beaver, took off at 1:45 p.m. local time. Little did they know their adventure would take an unexpected turn. The weather was unstable that day, with a powerful storm worsening conditions. Despite the flight being only an hour from the park to King Salmon, it faced unexpected challenges. The usual straightforward journey became difficult as the heavy storm wreaked havoc. As the hours passed, anxiety heightened in the park authorities when the small float plane failed to arrive at King Salmon Airport as scheduled. Concerns heightened and the news of the missing plane spread like wildfire. The Rangers community, friends, and family held their breath, hoping for a safe return. They didn't get any emergency calls or messages from the plane. They couldn't hear anything on the radio because the signals were too weak. This made everyone uncertain about what happened with the plane and the people on board. The absence of communication added to the mystery, leaving everyone in the dark about the plane's fate and the well-being of the passengers. Without any signals or messages, there was a sense of worry and confusion among the search teams and those waiting for news about their loved ones. The weak signals made it difficult for anyone to figure out the situation. The search operation began with a collaboration of forces including the U.S. Coast Guard, the Alaskan Air National Guard, the Park Service, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, Alaska State Troopers, and a private air service. Battling poor visibility, the team scoured the vast wilderness. The clock ticked, and by 10:30 p.m. local time, the search had yielded no signs of the missing plane. Meanwhile, a second plane carrying 2 additional park employees reached King Salmon from the same route. However, worsening weather conditions forced them to fly a mere 500 feet, following river drainage to avoid dangerous mountainous terrain. Despite the challenges, they reported no severity. After a continuous 2-week search, the search team started to lose hope. However, the families of the missing rangers anxiously awaited news, desperate for any sign of their loved ones. Mason McLeod's family, refusing to yield to despair, turned to the internet, rallying support and raising the reward for information to $65,000. Weeks were passing as the search expanded, covering 280 miles southwest of Anchorage, near King Salmon. Arnold, Mason's cousin, and other family members created a website, pleading for donations to fund a private plane for an extended search. The struggle to overcome the vastness of the Alaskan wilderness and the financial burdens of the search intensified. Despite the unstoppable efforts of authorities and Mason's family, there was no trace of Mason and his fellow rangers. Despite the pain of uncertainty, the National Transportation Safety Board released its final report after a month of tireless search. The absence of a flight recorder left the mystery shrouded in ambiguity. The report suggested the probable cause was the pilot's temporary unresponsiveness, the reasons for which remained elusive. The National Park Service, grappling with the aftermath, revealed a grim picture. It seemed the plane had collided with a cliff over a remote beach in the state, leaving no sign of survivors. The once hopeful search shifted into a sad acceptance of the harsh reality. And as the families grappled with grief, the Alaskan wilderness retained its secrets, forever concealing the details of that fateful flight. The missing rangers, once the guardians of Katmai National Park, became a part of its untamed legacy. And so the mystery of the missing float plane unfolded, leaving the community and the families haunted by unanswered questions, forever etched in the annals of Alaska's wilderness. Story 2. It was 2020, and in the huge and breathtaking Kruger National Park, South Africa, there lived a dedicated field ranger named Checkers Mashego. Checkers was known for his bravery and commitment to protecting the wildlife in the park. He was unaware that one fateful evening would turn his routine patrol into a mysterious disappearance. It was the early evening of Tuesday, November 17, 2020, when Checkers set out on his routine patrol along the Nzakazi River in the Stoll's Neck section of Kruger National Park. The sun was setting, projecting a warm glow on the beautiful park. Checkers, clad in his full ranger uniform, carried his rifle, cell phone, and radio, ready to face the challenges of the wild. As night fell, Checkers failed to arrive at the agreed meeting point, causing concern among his fellow rangers. The section ranger Stoll's Neck and his ranger corps began a thorough search through the night. With the support of a Sandparks helicopter, K-9 unit, and additional ranger force, they searched the vast boundaries of Kruger National Park to find their missing comrade. The next day passed and hope began to wane. Despite their best efforts, Checkers Mashego remained elusive, lost somewhere in the heart of Kruger National Park. Sandparks officials, in coordination with the South African Police Service, or SAPS, registered a missing persons report. Checkers' family was informed, adding a layer of worry to an already tense situation. The helicopter hovered above the limitless park. The K-9 unit sniffed for any trace, and rangers scoured the wilderness. Yet Checkers Mashego seemed to have vanished without a trace. The mystery deepened, and whispers of uncertainty were buzzing through the park. A depressing discovery added a new chapter to the story a month later. Human remains, including part of a skull, were found at the Kruger National Park. Alongside these remains were items suspected to belong to Checkers Mashego. The investigation teams from SAPS and the Environmental Crime Unit intensified their efforts, combing the area for possible clues. Colonel Donald Umdaluli of the SAPS confirmed that an investigation was underway to determine the circumstances of Checkers' disappearance. However, the twist in the tale came with the results of the DNA tests conducted on the skull. It was not Checkers Mashego's skull, but that of another woman, unraveling the mystery further. Checkers' wife, Nomsa Maseko, spoke of her family's financial hardships since his disappearance. 3 long years had passed, yet the case remained unsolved, leaving the Kruger National Park and its inhabitants haunted by the mystery of the missing field ranger. In the cruel African wilderness, where each rustle of leaves and every distant roar held secrets, the unanswered questions about Checkers Mashego's disappearance are still looking to be solved. Story 3. In the peaceful northern wilderness of Alberta, on April 23, 2017, 4 hunters began a journey into the middle of nature. Among them were Walter Ladoucer, Andrew Ladoucer, Keith Martin, and Keenan Cardinal. United by the thrill of the hunt, they set out on the Rocher River, ready for an adventure that would soon take a tragic turn. Walter and Andrew Ladoucer, brothers bound by blood and shared experiences, were the 4th Canadian Ranger Patrol Group members. Alongside them was Keith Martin, a seasoned member with 15 years of experience, and Keenan Cardinal, their hunting companion. They were unaware that their hunting trip would become a story to remain forever in the community's memories. As the sun descended the skyline on that fateful April evening, the 4 hunters departed from Fort Chipewyan, their boats slicing through the waters of the Rocher River. The air was filled with excitement and the promise of adventure. However, the next day brought an unsettling truth. The hunters were missing. The news spread like wildfire, casting a shadow of concern over the tight-knit community. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police, or RCMP, swiftly organized a search party, bringing together dozens of volunteers to comb through the uneven ground in search of the lost hunters. Hope waited around, but the mystery deepened as days turned into nights. With each passing day, the search efforts intensified. The RCMP, equipped with boats and helicopters, navigated the twisting Rocha River, its path fragmented by islands. The vast expanse of rugged terrain challenged even the most determined searchers. As Chief Corterreal expressed, the river was not straight, it was divided by an island, so it made the search broader. The community rallied, boats crisscrossing the river, but the hunters had disappeared. Days turned into weeks, and uncertainty hung in the air. Despite the favorable weather, the limitless wilderness proved to be a formidable adversary. The RCMP, passionate in their aim, showed no signs of giving up, offering a glimmer of hope to the families yearning for their loved ones' return. April 30th brought a somber revelation. The lifeless body of Walter Ledusser was found upriver from where their boat had been discovered in Wood Buffalo National Park. The echoes of grief reverberated through the community. The search continued for Keenan Cardinal and the remaining missing hunters. As May 1st dawned, another heartbreaking discovery shook the community. Keenan Cardinal's lifeless body was recovered, leaving only 2 members of the hunting party unaccounted for: Andrew Ledusser and Keith Martin. The weeks passed and the search persisted. The families clung to hope that their loved ones would be found alive. Yet on June 25th, the Rocha River revealed its secrets. The bodies of Andrew Ledusser and Keith Martin were found mere hours apart, about 8 kilometers north of where their boat had been discovered. The 4th Canadian Ranger Patrol Group members were now forever part of the river they had explored together. The Rocha River, once a symbol of adventure, became a reminder of the fragility of life. The community, now draped in the shadows of grief, mourned the loss of 4 brave hunters. The RCMP's dedication and the nonstop support of the community showcased the duty strength that emerges in times of tragedy. As the sun set on the Rocha River, it cast a golden glow on the waters that had witnessed both the thrill of life and the pain of unpredictable death. The tale of the 4 hunters would forever live in the collective memory of a community that had endured the twists of fate. Story 4. In the Rocky Mountain National Park, where uneven surface and sky-high peaks create a majestic yet risky landscape, seasoned ranger Jeff Christensen went on a solo backcountry patrol in July 2005. His knowledge fell short of alarming him that this routine expedition would unfold into a tragic tale of danger and the importance of safety. Jeff, a fit and experienced ranger in his 4th season, started his day-long patrol of the Mummy Range at Chapin Pass Trailhead. The day held promise, the sun shining brightly as he set out to ensure the safety of the park's vast wilderness. As the clock struck 11 a.m., Jeff's coworker dropped him off, and he began his ascent into the high, rocky terrain. Hours later, reports suggested he was seen at 1:30 p.m., likely summiting the insecure Ypsilon, a peak towering at 13,514 feet. However, tragedy struck as he descended. Jeff Christensen fell between the summit and the vast basin between Ypsilon Mountain and Mount Chiquita. The exact location and the extent of the fall remained shrouded in mystery. Concerns rose when Jeff failed to return as the afternoon sun descended below the peaks. A coworker, realizing something was wrong, reported him missing. This missing report triggered an intensive 8-day search for the lost ranger. The park mobilized a passionate team of 200 searchers, rescue dogs, and helicopters, embarking on one of the largest and longest search efforts in the park's history. Day by day, the searchers combed through the unforgiving terrain, each moment filled with the uncertainty of what might be uncovered. As the search team continued, hope waned with each passing day. In the middle of the search, rescuers encountered a baffling mystery. Gunfire and radio clicks were received through the rocky expanse. They believed it was Jeff attempting to signal them from the depths of the rugged landscape. The air filled with questions as investigators delved into the enigmatic signals. Amidst the vastness of the Rocky Mountains, a hiker stumbled upon a horrific scene on the 8th day of the search. Jeff Christensen's lifeless body lay in a steep-walled basin, the same landscape he had tirelessly patrolled. The coroner estimated his demise between 6 p.m. and midnight on the day of his solo expedition, which means on July 29, 2005. His head was smashed, and there seemed to be internal bleeding. His clothes were torn, and there were scratches all over his body. This condition was telling the pain he suffered before his death. The aftermath of Jeff's tragic fall prompted a reflection on safety protocols within the Park Service. The report emphasized the need for rangers to communicate changes in their travel plans and the acquisition of equipment like satellite phones for areas with poor radio coverage. Helmets available to rangers became a subject of discussion, and the report recommended the development of protocols for their usage. The tale of Jeff Christensen's ascent and untimely fall is a narrative of a ranger's dedication and a cautionary reminder of the dangers inherent in high-elevation terrains. The Rocky Mountains, majestic yet risky, witness the challenges faced by those tasked with preserving their beauty. Ultimately, Jeff's story underscores the importance of appropriate safety measures, equipment, and communication protocols in a park ranger's unpredictable and unforgiving world. Story 5. In the shadows of Horsetooth Reservoir, Brendan Unit, a dedicated ranger with Larimer County Natural Resources, went on a mission to protect the public and the park's resources. Brendan, a 27-year-old ranger known for his selflessness and contagious laugh, patrolled the Horsetooth Reservoir, ensuring the safety of boaters and campers. On this fateful night, a severe storm with unexpected strong winds spread a black shadow over the serene waters. It was just last year when he dedicated himself entirely to ensuring the safety of park visitors, offering a helping hand and beacon of hope in times of crisis. His life turned unexpectedly on that fateful Thursday, August 20th, 2020. As storm clouds gathered ominously over Horsetooth Reservoir, a distress call echoed. Two swimmers were battling the raging waters, their pleas for aid reaching Brendan's courageous heart. Reports revealed that evidence suggested Ranger Brendan Unit intentionally beached his patrol boat on the west shore of the reservoir. His purpose was to check on boating campsites when that distress call came in from fellow rangers seeking assistance for two boaters in trouble near Soldier Canyon Dam. Without hesitation, he set forth into the storm, risking everything valiantly to rescue those in peril. Amid the storm's fury, Brendan's selflessness shone bright, but tragically, it became his final act of heroism. His sacrifice is a testament to the unwavering dedication of a ranger who gave his all to protect others. During this critical moment, an unexpected and forceful wind swept across the reservoir, reaching up to 35-mile-per-hour gusts. Rangers reported hearing fragmented radio communications, presumably from Unit. Subsequently, all communication ceased, and Unit did not respond to the call for help with the distressed boaters, who were rescued by other rangers shortly after 9 p.m. Concerned about Unit's well-being, the rangers initiated a search. They located his patrol boat on the east side of the reservoir near Rotary Park, but Unit was not on board. Fearing the worst, an emergency call was broadcast, appealing to others for assistance in the search for Brendan Unit. The search team started to search the area through the night with ground crews, boats, drones, and aerial support. The search intensified, hoping to find Brendan on the shore where he patrolled on foot. Instead, a life vest, a crucial piece of a ranger's gear, surfaced, raising more questions than answers. In the eerie hours past midnight, a Colorado Parks and Wildlife boat, equipped with sonar, discovered Brendan's lifeless body in 12 feet of water. The proximity to the abandoned life vest added a layer of mystery to the already perplexing scenario. Sheriff Justin Smith pieced together the puzzle, suggesting Brendan intentionally beached his boat before the wind intensified. When the call for assistance came, the wind had blown his boat offshore. Brendan, aware that his life vest would inflate, rendering himself unable to retrieve the boat, made a critical decision. The unforeseen circumstances unfolded as he ventured into the water without the life vest. Distressed and pulled under, Brendan lost his life in the very act of protecting others. The coroner's autopsy confirmed accidental drowning, a sad confirmation of the sacrifice made that stormy night. Park authorities paid tribute to Brendan, emphasizing his commitment to safeguarding the public and natural resources. The heartfelt acknowledgement highlighted Brendan's threefold mission and courageous efforts that evening. A supervisor finally recalled him as a selfless ranger known for a contagious laugh. His brief yet impactful tenure of 6 months within the patrol unit left an enduring impression. The community grieved the loss of a valuable asset. A boat parade, a poignant tribute, unfolded on the reservoir's southern expanse. Around 20 vessels, slow motoring in a line, honored Brendan. Amidst the smoke from current wildfires, boaters and observers paid their respects, acknowledging the ranger who always brought life to the party. Brendan Unit, a Windsor High School graduate and former wrestler, had left an enduring legacy of selflessness, dedication, and a willingness to sacrifice for the greater good.